So the question was my name. It's Adrian Ma, and I'm a reporter, and I cover business at WBUR.
When you say you cover business, there is Bostonomics at WBUR. What is Bostonomics?
Bostonomics is essentially the business desk within the WBUR newsroom. We cover like a very wide range of business topics, everything from big businesses to small businesses to work culture to economic trends, anything else that has to do with money, which is a lot of things.
So before all the coronavirus madness started, was there anything in particular about covering this beat that compelled you?
Just like curiosity. I mean, I think the thing that I like about the business beat is that you can cover a lot of different topics through the lens of business, money, work. Like, for instance, since I started, I've done stories about international trade, how local media are surviving, local hospitals. My very first story was a series of stories about the cranberry industry and like how that was being impacted by the trade war.
What does reporting and the job of reporting actually entail?
Maybe like a third of it is like monitoring what is happening. The other third of the time is fishing around. You know, you're making phone calls and you're just trying to kind of like stir up the pond to see kind of like what flows to the surface. The other third of the time is like actually producing the stories, you know, like conducting the interviews, doing the audio production, writing, that kind of thing.
I would imagine that for the reporters who typically cover a health beat, that they know who they're going to and where. For somebody who typically covers a business beat, when you have to think about impact, where does your mind go first?
I don't know if there is a first. I mean, I guess like, because it seems like so many different things are happening at the same time. In a situation where, you know, that's been unfolding for the past few weeks, where it's not only a health crisis, but this has turned into an economic crisis, the impact is so much more widespread. It's like there is no industry that has not been touched. It's not like the question of where's the impact. It's like everything's been impacted. So now it's like, what is the thing that we need to focus on?
Before all of this, how would you produce an audio story?
Normally, I would go out in the field with my mic and my recorder, and I would spend lots of time in people's houses, go riding along in their car. And now I don't, I do a lot less of that.
Not so much now.
Yeah.
I think this was you, right? You did a story about how to work from home. How did you put that together at home?
So that story was basically about how are people coping with working from home. I chatted with people on video. But video sound is usually pretty crappy. So in addition to talking with them on video, I would have them pull out their smartphone and use a voice recording feature on their smartphone to record their side of the conversation. And then they would send me that after we talked, and I would sort of weave that together with the other elements of the story. And that's how I've basically been doing all the stories in the past few weeks.
I also saw that you're doing a new project or a new piece called My COVID Economy.
Yeah.
And what is that about?
WBUR has been really good about keeping up on the latest numbers in the state. You know, how many people have gotten sick? What is the situation with unemployment? Every day there are new numbers to report. But I think one of the things that had started to occur to me was that like these numbers after a while can feel overwhelming. Behind each of those numbers, there is a person. It's still important for people to know, you know, what the human stories are right now. And I think My COVID Economy is basically a way to do that. And, you know, we're looking for all kinds of stories about, you know, whether it's affected your job, your income, maybe it's forced you to make a big life change. Another way to put it would be like, we're just trying to understand the people behind the numbers.
So what is giving you hope these days?
I've seen a lot of great journalism being done right now, and that goes for WBUR as well. Just seeing the way that my colleagues have sort of risen to the importance of this moment and the journalism they're producing is really inspiring to me. WBUR just had its spring fund drive, and fund drives usually take like a week to unfold, and they decided, in order to make more room for news coverage, to cram that whole fund drive into half a day. And their goal was to raise $1 million in that half a day, and they did it. It's a sign that people out there want to support the work we're doing. If anybody sees this and they're interested in sharing a story about how the coronavirus has impacted their work or financial life, check out WBUR.org/mycovideconomy.
Yes, definitely do that. And then also, if you want to check out any of the other WBUR coverage, it's at WBUR.org/coronavirus. And then always tune into 90.9 FM. Thanks, Adrian.
Thank you.